Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode 2 of Mamapreneur. I'm beyond excited because we have Lauren Garza as our guest today. Guys, I'm so excited because Lauren Garza and we met at the beginning of 2020. Oh my gosh.
2023.
And it's just crazy to see her. Yeah, 2023. It's phenomenal to see where she's come just in a short period of time. She started in the fitness industry. She's absolutely demolishing it in the insurance industry. So I'm excited for her to share her story with you, how she's a mama of 2 girls, 2 precious little girls. One's a little redhead, so we kind of have that connection. But I'm just excited for her to share like her journey of being patiently aggressive. And I say that term because that's a term that y'all need to know if you're an entrepreneur or a business owner, where most of the times, like, we feel like we're not getting anywhere and we don't have traction in our business. And we're like, man, am I even going to have results one day? Like, what's going to happen? Like, and then all of a sudden you just stay consistent, you stay disciplined, you stay aggressive in your everyday tasks. And then eventually things just pop off and you're like, holy smokes, I'm so glad that I didn't give up. And Lauren is a great example of that. So let's go ahead and get started, Lauren. Go ahead and share, where are you from? What's your background story? And yeah.
So from the Southwest, grew up in Phoenix, between Phoenix and Texas, and moved to New York 15, 16 years ago. Got into fitness out of college. I wanted to work for myself. I didn't want to work for anybody. So that was kind of a nice track. Loved what I was doing, loved the way I was able to impact people's lives, but didn't necessarily like the glass ceiling that I was encountering and the kind of wage gap and the cap that I was up against. I could only work so many hours. I could only charge so much, only train so many people. So I knew that I wanted to do something different. I just didn't know what it was. And stumbled upon insurance because I was trying to get you to sign up for my fitness program. So I was thinking, what like kind of segment of the market stays home and works? I'm like, all right, insurance agents. I was like, let's target insurance agents. So in meeting you, I was just following your stories and your agent stories and seeing their success and thought, you know what, like there's no reason I can't do this too. So, fast track, about a month later after we connected, got my license, took my test, 10 days, got set up. I knew that the quicker I, studied and took the test and got set up, the more, I would have. I didn't want to let any time go. I wanted to stay excited about this, stay on a track of like getting everything done quickly so that I could start earning and learning as soon as possible. So that's what I did. Got on track, got my test, got contracted with carriers, and within a month was making money.
I love it. One thing I love about you, Lauren, is I remember in the beginning where, most of the time when people come from another industry, like, they have a bunch of questions or they have a lot of hesitation because they're like, is this really going to work? Like, it's too good to be true. And I just remember you coming in and like, you didn't ask any questions. Like, you just got it done. And I was like, holy smokes, like, this girl actually passed the exam. Like, when she said she was going to pass it. And I was like, she's going to freaking kill it. And the reason why is because people that come into the industry and like they don't have any hesitations, like, of course, like, there's going to be fear within you, but if you just put that fear to the side and you're like, okay, I'm going to do my everyday task and to get the results that I want, like, eventually you're going to have the outcome. And I see that happening with you because in the beginning, like, we're going to talk about like some of the trials and challenges that you went through being in the insurance industry and how you've had a positive attitude about everything that you're doing, and you're always like, if I'm not the problem, then there's no solution. Like, you literally never complain. It's the crazy, like, you never complain. You're always like, man, what's going on, but this is what I do to fix it. And I'm like, damn, you go, girl. Like you've always mentored yourself almost, because you're always talking through things. You're always very self-aware. And I respect that about you. But I want to go back to when you first started in the insurance industry. Like, what was your mindset of like, okay, I'm leaving the fitness industry? Because how many years were you in the fitness industry for?
I say 15, but it was more like 14, 14 and a half, because now I've been like 7 months of this. So, it's a long time. It's like
Yeah,
early 20s.
you're comfortable. You're comfortable in like the industry that you're in. So like, what was your mindset behind like, what am I going to do? Like, how am I going to switch from the fitness industry to the insurance industry? Because it's completely different. Like, what was your mindset at that point?
Totally different. I watched a couple videos from people that were successful in FFL coming from really different backgrounds. And I thought, well, if this server that was working in a restaurant, grinding it out, can sell insurance, I don't need a lot of sales experience to do the same thing. So I think piggybacking off of other people's success stories was a big driving force when I thought about how I was going to be successful. There's no way I can't do this.
Yeah.
That was the whole mentality. It was like, I know it's going to suck. It's going to be hard. There's a lot to learn, but there's no way that I can't do this because they're doing it. I'm watching them doing it on Zoom.
Absolutely. I think that's why it's so important to share testimonials, because it's like, okay, if that person can do it, like I can absolutely do it too. Like they've never had any experience. I've never had any, so I'm just going to jump into this industry and figure it out. What did your schedule look like in the beginning when you started in insurance?
So my schedule in the beginning hasn't changed from what it was then to now. I have 2 little kids, 2 little girls, and I get them ready for school, take them to school. I'm back home at 9, and I work till 12:45, and I pack in as many appointments and as much as I can in those like 3 hours, 45 minutes as I can. I also try to book appointments in the evenings after they go to bed, because there's after school activities, there's things that I like to be a part of that I don't want to miss. So my schedule has been the same. I try to be as focused and as intentional as I can be during that small window, because I know that I can't pay bills or scroll social media or get distracted, because I only have such a small window to do as much as I can. And I think I've become a little bit more efficient, because I'm more efficient with booking appointments and the times between appointments and taking advantage of different time zones to work later in the evening. So that kind of has changed a little bit. But in terms of like the 3.5, 4 hours that I get to work, sit down and sell, has not changed. It's not a lot of time. It will be eventually, but it's not a lot of time right now.
It's not, but when you're intentional with your time, like you don't have to work multiple hours, which is what, like, it's so key, like as a business owner, that when it's family time, it's family time. And when it's work time, it's work time. And you're not doing anything else besides making money. So you work literally 3.5 to 4 hours a day. Then how, is that correct? 3 to 4 hours a day.
That's all I can do right now. Maybe next year when my youngest is in school till 3, but right now I can't. I pick her up at 1 and my day's done.
Yeah, but that's fine. You're making it happen. Like you're making it work. Yeah. How many days a week are you working?
5.
Awesome. So 5 days a week.
Yeah, once a month my wife will take the kids and I'll be able to like bang out a Saturday. But it's also like our little time together, and yeah. I eventually I might figure out how to navigate that a little better, but it's just 5 days.
Love it. So 5 days a week, literally working 3.5 to 4 hours a day. But what you've learned is how to be intentional. And I want to talk about that a little bit, because it's not just about being intentional with your time, but you've actually implemented some things into your business to become more efficient. Like I know that you're sending text messages out to your numerous leads that you've now invested into, or what are some other things that you're doing? And also talk a little bit about the text messages that you're sending out to your clients and how you're maximizing your time by using these different tools and resources. Like, what are you doing?
I try to get 50 leads a day, whatever that looks like, whatever that spend looks like, whatever it is. It's 50 a day. And I go through those 50 like crazy. I triple dial, go through all those first thing in the morning, and then I send a text message. Usually triple dial, 2 text messages, booking for either the evening or the next day. Okay. So I use Phone Burner to call my leads and then put them into a text system called Project Broadcast that I've been using. I use in the fitness industry as well. And
Ah,
from there, I
love
just go into, yeah, from there, I go into booking appointments, and I send messages to every lead every other day until they tell me to stop or they book an appointment every other
it.
day,
Okay,
no matter what.
talk about project broadcast. So I think that's awesome that you literally used it in the fitness industry and now you're using it in insurance as well. So for whoever is watching, no matter what industry you're coming from, if you're or a business owner, project broadcast is something that maybe you can implement into your business to help you become more efficient. So talk about like what is project broadcast and how do you use it in your insurance business?
I think it's one of the most affordable platforms right now. I was using it in fitness because I didn't have a lot of capital to spend on systems, but I was able to, I knew it well enough to say, okay, I can do the same thing with insurance. So I upload my leads for that day, and I can either choose to message them directly or send them into a drip, but it's a mass text platform that allows me to get to everybody or however many people I decide to message as quickly as possible.
Awesome. So how did you use it in your fitness business?
Very similarly, I was getting my leads from Facebook, Instagram, putting them into the phone burner app, messaging them either tips or um, like it was mainly just giving them information about fitness and how I could help them, and little nutrition or exercise ideas, just kind of getting in front of them,
Love it.
making my name a name that they see often. And, of course, until they tell me to stop messaging them, but, 15 to 20 messages that may lead to, a call or an appointment or a no thank you, but, one or the other.
Not right now, maybe they know somebody or in the future. So correct me if I'm wrong, but what you would do is you would advertise on Facebook to get potential clients
Yep.
that you could personally train. And then if they didn't become a client yet, you would put them onto a list of people that you would send out a mass text to give them tips on or working out or how you can add value to them and like why you should become their personal trainer. Is that how you would use project broadcast?
That's it. Yep,
Okay.
that's exactly what I did.
And then with insurance, how did you use it or how do you use it currently?
Pretty similarly, it started with tips about why people buy insurance, the importance of having life insurance, things that may be overlooked in your financial portfolio if you were to pass away, benefits of life insurance that they may not be educated on, little tips, tricks, information leading to an appointment. So each message is a little bit different. Not every single message is different. There's a bit of a, recycled. I edit them and whatever I need to do to stay current and to give them new information. But it's very similar.
Love it. No, and it really is. Like, that's what I love about business is like, it's pretty streamlined. Like we can all use the same techniques. It's just a different product or a service that you're selling. And like, once you understand that, you can learn from so many different people from all walks of life and all different types of industries. So like, there's so many things that I could learn from a personal fitness trainer because technically you run your own business. If you're not working and you're not getting new clients, then you're not getting paid. But you brought up a good point. Like it's very similar. We market on Facebook. We send out mailers. We market in all different types of platforms. And if those people don't become clients yet, then we use Project Broadcast to send out a mass text message. So that way we continuously get them. So when it is the right time for them, they're like, okay, I'm thinking about Lauren because she's constantly in front of me. And like, I always think about this where actually it's funny that about 2 weeks ago, I was on Instagram and just like constant stories. Well, actually that's me like every day now. But my AT&T guy, he reached out to me because I reached out to him a few days prior because I told him, I was like, dude, my internet sucks. Like I need to get this fixed. Okay. It still sucks right now, but it is what it is. Anyways, I was like, I need to get this fixed. Reached out to him on a Sunday And I was like, sorry, I'm reaching out to you on a Sunday, but I got to do this because otherwise I'm going to forget to reach out to you tomorrow. So don't worry, you don't have to respond today. But if you can just get back to me like when you're working. And he's like, okay, let me do that. And then a few days later goes by, and then he's like, hey, I totally forgot to reach out to you, but I saw that you posted on Instagram. So I was like, oh my gosh, I need to reach out to him. But that reminded me, like, that's why it's so important to continuously post on social media or continuously get in front of people, because you're always in the forefront of other people's minds. So when they're ready to reach out to you, obviously, like, that's a different circumstance. Like, he was just reaching out to me because he needed to help me with my internet. But it's the same thing with marketing. Like, my key word that I really focus on is omnipresence. So omnipresence is like getting in front of as many people as that's going to create more opportunities. So it's the same thing with social media, or it's the same thing with following up with your clients. Like, how often are you posting on social media? Like, don't ever think like, oh my gosh, I'm following up, or I'm posting too much, following up with these people too much. And that's a key thing, because I know a lot of people that start in the insurance industry, or really any business or entrepreneurship, as they come in and we do outbound calls. So like, sometimes it can be very uncomfortable because like you said, Lauren, you call 50 leads in a half to 4 hour period, and you triple dial them 3 times in that 3 hour period. Like, a lot of the times, like, that can make you very uncomfortable because you're literally calling out 9 times to that same person. So I remember like having overcome that mindset of like, oh my gosh, I'm like reaching out to them too many times. Like, no, you're not, because this is urgent. If we don't get this taken care of, we're not going to get it taken care of. So when you change your mindset of like, hey, I'm here to genuinely help out this person, not to get a commission, that's going to help you overcome that mindset. Anyways, I completely got off track. So we're going to dial back into Project Broadcast is a great tool or resource to use if you're not already using it, especially as a busy mom. Instead of sending out manual text messages to people, which is what we use. I know I used to do that when I did policy service work. I would send out my annual reviews like text by text, which would take literally like 3 months to like go through my entire book of business. But now with Project Broadcast, all I have to do is upload leads, upload the script that I'm going to put in the text message, and then within an hour, it's sent out to my entire book of business. So I literally just saved myself 3 months worth of work. Yeah. So being a business owner is not about just working hard, but it's about working smart too. But Lauren, I want to hop back in and talk about, okay, when you first started in the insurance industry, like, I know we had a lot of conversations of like, dude, this is like, I'm not getting the results that I'm wanting to. But then you just like had this 1 week where you started popping off 1 policy a day. And then from there, like, sky's the limit. Like, you're not even stopping. You submitted over $60,000 of business just last month. So like, what finally was the snapping point? Like, what did you do?
I think the text messages, that was really where I finally found a way to reach people that were either not answering my calls or I wasn't able to get through over the phone. I didn't realize how much of a important resource texting was.
Yeah.
Because I don't answer calls that I don't know. So why should my clients? And when I started implementing the text messages was just huge, huge. Because I think for the first few months, I didn't message at all. I mean, I was dialing them like crazy trying to get through these people. And I did a few, but not until I implemented another resource, another platform, another avenue, was when I really started to see a change.
Got it. So you just
follow up. That and amazing follow-up. I mean, the first conversation I had with somebody, I wouldn't let that fall to the wayside after I got new leads. Again, calling them, texting them until they told me to stop. People that I've already spoken to, that were going to think about it, that were going to speak to a family member, that were going to wait till they got paid, that were, for whatever reason, weren't going to pull the trigger immediately. I was really diligent in following up with them.
So how many text messages do you think you've sent out, like, to your current book of business? Like, what does your follow-up look like? Like, what texting script do you put out? Maybe we can actually attach a PDF to this live so that way it can benefit anybody else that's looking for it. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, I almost ended the recording. Can you still see me?
Oh yeah, we're back.
Okay, cool. We're back. I almost ended the recording and I was like, woo, okay, thank God you hopped back on. Can you? Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, we're good. We're good. Yeah, you're moving.
Okay, we're good. Yeah, maybe we can attach like your text script that you use to keep following up with your clients. Like, how often do you follow up with them? Like, what does your texting schedule look like? Can you?
I wish I had more of a like schedule or a drip. It's kind of just, I do a lot of research in the morning in terms of like, what are the benefits of life insurance? So I go online and I think, what haven't I exposed them to yet? What information haven't I sent them? What's important? What do I think is really important that I've seen people go through that they need this for? What have they not considered? That's kind of what I go through in my head when I'm sending a message.
Yeah.
And making myself available if I have a Saturday or I have a Sunday morning, letting them know that I understand you may not answer the phone during the week to numbers you don't know. I'm going to make myself available for you today to help you take care of this. Please let me know what time between 12 and 3 or 7 to 9 p.m. you'll be available. I'll make myself available for you. So that kind of stuff.
Are you
I do a lot.
Okay, are you sending that message out on Project Broadcast to like all of your clients to like let them know like, hey, I know that you may not be available during the week, but I'm available this Saturday if you're available for a call?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Because I know you mentioned that you just closed a policy for like over 23,000 in business because you followed up with them 17 times. Is that correct?
Yeah, that was 17 messages. And it was actually Saturday morning that I didn't plan on working. My wife took the kids out for breakfast or something, and I thought I've got like an hour and a half. I sent my, my big text blast to, it was like 2,300 people. And someone that hadn't gotten back to me yet over the past 16 messages, she got back to me on the 17th. 35 minutes, we were done. That's
amazing. So those 17 text messages that you sent out to the client, what did it look like? Like, what are some examples of text messages that you've sent out to her? Okay, can you hear?
I have to bring them up. A lot of them are, yeah, I can hear you. A lot of them are like, it's Lauren, I'm a life insurance broker you spoke to a couple months ago. Most people have at least one policy in place that will cover funeral and final expenses so they don't leave their family with the debt. If you don't have anything to support an emergency, illness, or funeral, we need a plan. So I send that one out a lot. I get a lot of good responses from that. Like, we need a plan. If you don't have a plan, we need a plan. And I think it kind of reminds people that, no, I don't have a plan. I've been putting this off for a long time, and it's important. Thank you for reminding me, kind of thing.
Love it. Okay. But I really like the fact that you send out like just informational stuff. Like, how many agents actually send out text messages to their current like potential prospects about like, hey, this is how life insurance can benefit you? Like, I've never heard of any other insurance agent doing that. So like, that's freaking awesome. So that also builds credibility, probably, And
yeah, I'm not always asking for an appointment. There's not always like an end goal. It's, hey, have you heard of an indexed universal life insurance policy? Do you know about living benefits? There are policies that can help you fund a child's or grandchildren's educational future, or there are policies that can help you pay off a mortgage if the main breadwinner is disabled, chronically, critically ill, or passes away. There are things that I didn't know about life insurance until I started. And I'm sure a lot of people, this is not their wheelhouse. And every little bit can help my credibility and in turn, hopefully help them.
Yeah, absolutely. That's freaking awesome. Cool. So now, would you say that the text messages is what helped you be able to submit over $60,000 in business last month?
Yeah, it is. That the text messages is the only way I got to those people. I still dial as much as I can in the small time frame that I do have to work. If no one picks up in those 3.5, 3:45, 3 hours, 45 minutes, if nobody picks up in that time frame, I am like defeated. So I have to have the text messages to fill in the spaces where people will not answer the phone. And most people don't, some do. I've sold a lot of policies that, they pick up and we go through their needs and what I can help them with. And, we kind of find common ground and I set them up with a policy. But a lot of times people don't answer and I've got to go pick up my daughter and I can't keep dialing.
Yeah.
So I found a way to make the most of my time, which is like, I keep coming back to like it. I try to be as efficient and as dedicated as I can be within that time frame.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you schedule appointments or is it just a one call close or what does that look like?
I schedule them. I give them time frames in the text message, ask which is best. They pick one. Some people don't answer. I would say there's probably a 60% show up rate, which is not bad. But of course, there are appointments that I book that they don't answer, and that's just part of the business. So I try not to double book because I don't want to get myself in a situation where now I'm hurting my credibility by not calling you when I said I would. But that's not a bad problem to have.
No, for sure. It's never a bad problem. Like I'm super busy, maybe you should reschedule. So that way they know I'm fixed, but trust me, I'm gonna help you out as well. So also let's talk a little bit about you being a mom of 2 kids. Do you involve your kids in the business? Like I know you mentioned to me before that like your kid literally knows the first 3 lines of your script, which tells me that like you obviously have them in the same room as you when you're dialing. So what does that look like? Like how do you separate your time from, or how do you not get distracted while working while having 2 kids?
I usually don't take calls or set myself aside to dial when they're around. It's happened. And like my older daughter, if I have appointments in the evening and she's finishing her homework, we're sitting at the dining room table together and I'm going through appointments or I'm taking an hour to dial through, the few leads I didn't get to earlier in the day. So she does know my opening to my script because she's sitting there next to me doing her little homework pages while I'm dialing. But when my little one gets home, who's just turned 4, I am all hers. I'm not making appointments. I'm not on the phone. She's too young to be left to her own devices. But it's a juggle. It's not easy. I mean, everyone says this business is simple but difficult, and I definitely agree because there are things that I can't get done in my day because I do have little kids, and I wonder like where I would be in this industry on my trajectory in insurance if I didn't have kids or I didn't have the time restraints that I do. But I wouldn't change it. I'm able to spend time with them. I'm able to take them to games and coach their soccer and spend more time with them, do more things for them, provide more for them, send them to better schools and things like that because of what I'm.
Uh-oh, we're frozen again.
Oh, we're back.
Okay,
I think we're good.
We're back. No, I totally agree, but now me being a new mom, I see like the side of like, man, like I wish I would have gone harder when I didn't have a son, because now you realize like, man, kids do take a lot of time and you really have to be intentional. But then again, like at the end of the day, our kids are our entire why, I've never felt so fulfilled in my entire life because now it's not just about like chasing things for myself, but it's like chasing things for my son. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but like, do you now think about like, if you go out and maybe you want to go buy like an outfit, you're like, okay, maybe should I not spend this $100 for this outfit? Maybe I should use it towards my daughters. You know, like you have a different mindset of where you're putting your money, where you're putting your focus, because you have your kids. And I think that's why like moms actually crush it as business owners or entrepreneurs. Oh, can you hear me? Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Lauren?
Oh, we're back. We're back. Yes.
Oh boy. Okay, we're gonna end this very shortly before it becomes a disaster. But all I was saying is like moms crush it in business and entrepreneurship because one, we've learned patience. We learn that things don't come immediately because it's just like developing a child. Like developing a child, like they develop so fast, but it's also like you're very about the things that you surround them with and the things that they do, because you know that whatever they do today is going to affect tomorrow. You know, like I already have my 4-month-old son in gym classes and swimming classes because one, I want him to be around other kids to socialize, because me as a single mom, I don't have any other kids around. A lot of my friends don't have kids. So what I do is I place him in a position where he's around other kids. So he's socializing at a young age, where he's going to be used to the gym. He's going to be used to swimming. He's going to be used to being around other people, because I'm intentionally placing him in a position to do so. And that also translates to business, because now we're very intentional with our time. We see like, hey, whatever we do today is going to affect tomorrow. Can you hear me, Lauren?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, cool. The video is frozen, but whatever. But for instance, like I have a nanny, and like she comes from 8 to 5. Like I'm now like, okay, I literally am not doing anything besides money making activities between the hours of 8 to 5 p.m. Like nothing else literally matters because I'm paying for a nanny. So I'm gonna have to make sure that if I'm paying a nanny, then I'm gonna have to make sure that I'm making money. So whatever, like if I need to, for instance, if I need to, what do I need to do? Grocery shop, or I order from Costco now, or I do Uber Eats and order things, so it helps me become more efficient. So literally in between the hours of 8 to 5, I'm only doing money making activities. Whereas before, becoming a mom, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll go get my hair done, or maybe I'll go get my nails done. Like, no, that stuff doesn't matter to me anymore, because like I'm so focused on providing the best life and becoming the best mom for my son, that whatever is going to help push that forward, I'm going to continue to do. So for instance, like I'd love to get an outfit. I used to love to get an outfit once a week for church. Now I'm like, okay, why does that even matter? Like, am I like doing it to like look better for others, or am I doing that to like better myself? And like, I realized like, no, I was just doing that so I would look better for others, but like that doesn't even matter. So like, instead of doing that, I use that money that I used to spend once a week towards investing into my son. So for instance, last week we just started his life insurance policy, and I put $500 a month towards that. And I'm like, man, that $500 that used to go towards ordering clothes on Amazon per month now goes towards my son's life insurance policy. So by the time he's 21 years old, he's $150,000 in that life insurance policy that he can pull from to either purchase a home, start a business, do whatever he wants with it. So yeah, I'm just obviously very, very passionate about moms, especially being a new mom, because I think like mom brain I try to make more positive as like mom differently. Like I just think the way that how now with having kids can easily translate into being a business owner or entrepreneur. Is it easy? No, it's not easy, but it can be very simple as long as you make it. But anyways, Lauren, in this podcast, what are some tips that you would give moms?
It's always going to go back to your why, right? It's like if if you don't have a clear direction, where are you going to go? If you don't set out those clear kind of, it doesn't have to be bullet points, it doesn't have to be sticky notes on your mirror, but if you don't have a destination, I think you might feel a little bit lost.
Absolutely.
And I always try to think like how my success impacts the ones I love the most, and just get after that reason.
For
And
sure.
it doesn't have to be the kids, it could be whatever, but
for sure. What's your goal for board?
I want a jacket. I want 400 families. I do. I think that I have another year of 1 p.m. pickup, and my goal is to work in some form of childcare in the afternoons. She's old enough now where she'll be okay playing with a nanny or a high school senior while I'm in the other room, just giving me 3 to 4 more hours of work. But
sure.
I need more hours. That's it. I don't need anything else. All I need is more time.
Yep.
It's not going to increase my skill set, which is also, you know, a big part of this. But yeah, I think that having a clear goal
is 3 hours as a mom is a lot of time. Like that's like
it's forever. It's forever.
Like, that's
3 hours without kids. I feel like I can do anything without kids in 3 hours.
For real. So like when you translate that to your business of like, man, I can get so much done in 3 hours, like why we become the most successful in business and entrepreneurship, because we know how to manage our time properly. Well, actually, I wouldn't say manage our time properly because I'm always late to things, and even more late now, but I'm a lot more efficient with my, and I say a lot more no's than yeses nowadays.
Oh, no, 100%. More no's than ever.
For sure. All right, Lauren, thank you so much for joining us on episode 2 of Mamapreneur. And if anybody wants to reach out to you, if they have any like questions for you, what is the best way for them to reach you?
Just text me, 917-618-4987.
Awesome. I love it. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on episode